Okay, so I just had to come through with a quick message. I had to come through with a quick message because the downloads are just coming, honestly. So I was writing down, in my journal or whatever, and it came to me. There were two things that came to me. Abundance shows up in so many different ways because abundance is not just money, right? And the other thing that came to me is co-creators. Like you're in a partnership, right? You're in a partnership with everything in this universe. You've been given the gift of co-creation. Your co-creators are your highest self, your partners in this life, platonic and romantic, your collective, your community, and spirit. And true abundance, there's different forms of true abundance. You know, for me, there's no really, capital A abundance. Abundance is so many different things, but this version of abundance that's coming through that wants to come forward right now is an abundance of so much, especially an abundance of co-creators. That is something beautiful to have so many sources to co-create with in this life. It's such a beautiful thing because contrary to, the popular by my lonely, you know, narrative that is put out here completely, I'm so independent, I'm so this, I'm so that, I don't need nobody. Like, contrary to that is the fact that we're humans, we're social creatures. Even very unsocial people, like people that are not very social at all, usually have some type of social outlet, whether that be hiding behind a screen and interacting with others anonymously through social media, whether that be a strong connection with an animal, whether that be just a strong connection with one other person. Most humans, the majority of humans are wired for some type of socialization, right? So to be able to use that innate feeling of stability, of peace, of unity, of community with, your co-creators. You view them as your co-creators. Like that's a beautiful, powerful thing. That is something that is like, wow, I'm overwhelmed with love. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude and just thankfulness. I see the value in not being a lone wolf. Yes, there are some things that only solitude can teach you, but here's the thing. If you are on my vibration, if you are aligned with my frequency, yes, we've been in the hermit phase, right? But here's the thing though. Spirit is saying that was just a season. That was never supposed to be your forever. It was just a season, right? Thank you, Spirit. And Spirit is saying that, it's time for you to come out of that. It's time for us to come out of it. And we really don't have to do anything except for wait for the people to be brought to us and start awakening to the community and the co-creators that we already have around us. Because the more we recognize what is already around us, the more we will bring in more and more because it invites in more and more of that energy when you recognize that energy that's already in your life. Because if you cannot see that energy that's already in your life and you do not know what it looks like, so when it comes from outside of your life, trying to come in, knocking at the door, you're gonna say no because it's gonna be a stranger to you. And it's not going to be a stranger that you're just going to want to, you know, get to know. So yeah, I did just have some cards to pop out, and they honestly fit in with all of this that we've been discussing. Like, it's time to release those blocks and cut your losses with that way of being closed off to new things coming into you, being closed off to things that may not look how you think it's supposed to look, being closed off from seeing the truth within your life. Because as of right now, it's like your perspective has been off. My perspective has been off. Look, I'm talking to myself too. This message is coming through from spirit to get my ass together and to get y'all asses together too, okay? I'm no exception to this. I channel my story. I channel the advice that I need to hear in the moment. That's what makes this shit so real and so deep, is that I am on this exact same journey with you all because I'm aligned with that energy. We're on the same frequency. If you're hearing this message, you're on the same frequency. So it's like I'm no different. I'm going through this shit, experimenting right along with y'all. And spirit is giving me the same advice. Embrace uncertainty. You know, today I learned about um different concepts of time as it applies to Africa or certain parts in Africa. I learned about this study that, I believe his name is Mbiti, that he did of certain African, cultures. And it's the concept of time. Like, the future doesn't really exist. It's not a concept for them. You have two different types of time. Saza, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is the here and now, the past, and the very recent future. Kind of like I don't know. This is just my interpretation of it. I could be wrong. I'll put the, whatever in the comments so you all can see that. But yeah, that is, Saza is like, the past, the present, and the near future. And then, like, there's another one too. But that's all that is time. There's no long term like future because it doesn't exist. It has not happened. We do not know how it's going to happen. So embrace uncertainty. When you think about time in that way, it's like you release control and you're no longer trying to predict outcomes. You're no longer trying to force a vision on the future, which can be good in some ways. But if you're anything like me, man, it's freaking hard to remove fear out of the picture. So it's a lot easier to just embrace the uncertainty and just say, I'm not going to try to predict anything, good or bad. I'm just embracing what is coming to me. So release that control. Know that your life is enchanted. You have an enchanted life. You're like, like Princess Tiana, like Cinderella. You've had this enchanted transformation. And all you have to do now is just release control and let any blocks go. Maybe you need to have a sit down and, really feel into them one last time. But those blocks they're not welcomed in this space anymore. Okay? They're not welcomed in this space anymore. It ain't no more room for them because I just asked and took it up. Okay? Like, it's no more room. It's time to release the past. Let it go. Cut your losses. Cut your ties, cut your losses with the past because it's only gonna lead to it's not working in your favor. It's working to your detriment. It's kind of like how with the Titanic, the captain's experience worked to their detriment in that case. Because of his experience, he thought a certain way. He perceived the iceberg situation a certain way that led to their detriment. Yeah. Okay, I'll get you some more popcorn. Thank you. I'm so proud of you too. So yeah, just release those blocks, let it go, and just know that it's so much coming your way. So much.